Hey, all right. Welcome to Eight Questions with. I'm your host, Patrick. I'm going to be joined by Hobbs Horror, along with our special guest, Christopher Moore, and the lovely Meredith Mohler. We will probably, most likely, also be joined by the Cheetah, making his usual cameo appearance. Um, so, welcome to the show. We are here to talk to director Christopher Moore. This will be his second time back on the show. So glad to have him. And while this will be Meredith's first time on Eight Questions with, it's not the first time that we've talked to her. She made her very first press interview, did her very first interview last year on the Midnight Hour, and we talked about her film called Triggered. Uh, Hey there, hey, people are here. What's going on? Man, I enjoyed your video about the beauty shop in Aldi's. I love that video, man. That's a lot of fun. Aldi's is a trip. Uh, Waffles. Good to see heroic waffles in the house. So yeah, we are talking with Meredith Mohler and Christopher Moore. They will be here talking about their new movie, uh, uh, Children of Sin. And let me tell you something. Christopher Moore has created a villain for horror ages. In fact, he's actually created two. But one definitely for sure will remain in the horror lexicon. Whenever you hear the word Mary Esther, you will feel the fur on your back of your neck stand straight up. I'm not kidding you. He has created a memorable character brought to life by Mary Jo Robinson. Make sure I said her name right. I could be wrong, right? Joanne Robinson. See, damn. See, I got it wrong. Um, gosh, that was Children of Sin is a whew. Hi, Jennifer Tochi, saying hi to Waffles. All right, all right. Uh, yeah, I'm glad everybody's here. I'm right on time, Jennifer. 7:45. You know that. Uh, so yep. Wow. God, we're gonna have a. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, folks. That really helps the channel. Um, Hobbs will be here shortly, along with our special guest. Like I said, it was Meredith Mohler's first interview that she did. She did with us on the Midnight Hour. So we're glad to have her back, talking about her new film, Children of Sin, and yeah, uh, yeah, this is a winner. It's the second straight film that I watched of Christopher Moore's, and he definitely has his pulse on what's going on. Um, this movie is a little different, though. It's sort of like a religious. It's actually, tell you the truth, this movie sort of remind me of. This is a bit of a stretch, but this the way it was presented, it's a little bit like documentary style. When the first movie opens up, it's a little bit like a drama, and then it kicks into overdrive, and it kicks into overdrive in a seriously fast way. But the first half of the movie is really interesting to watch um, because that stuff happens. What can I say? Star Lord, welcome, sir. If you guys have never heard of conversion therapy, if you guys have any of you guys ever heard of conversion therapy? It's a very controversial thing. It's sort of like when the cults were really popular in the 90s, 80s and 90s. They used to have deprogrammers, so to speak, which means that they would have someone who would come in there and let's say somebody was following Joe Osteen, right? And they were just brainwashed by the shit that he was saying. And a family would hire a deprogrammer to come in and get them out of that, saying that, it's you don't have to give your whole life to a mortal man. So for a while their deprogrammers were very popular. Many times they were from the very same church or organization or cult, and they had escaped themselves. conversion therapy is a new, well, it's been around for a little bit, but it's been in the news lately because a lot of people are really upset about it. And what it is anybody who is living a gay or lesbian life, their parents or their church leaders or whatnot, they believe that if you can take them in and have them converted, conversion, like that they're, be basically reprogrammed. Um, you're tweaking my leg, Star Lord. Um, but you know what I'm saying. Quick, someone give me a deprogrammer. So what they do, they believe that the person who's living that sort of lifestyle, they need to be saved and they need to be converted back into. It absolutely, positively is, Jennifer. Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, many of these conversion therapy places are done by churches. That's what they do. They convert people. They're saying that you're not really gay, you're not really queer, you're not really, you're just misled, and then we're going to try to convert you back into being a normal straight person. Uh, so conversion therapy is not, and it's not an easy subject, and for sure, but it makes a hell of a movie. um, Oh, any cults? Well, I'm trying to think of the one. Nexum. Have you heard of the Nexum one? The Nexum cult? The one that where Allison Mack from Smallville was arrested and convicted for leading people into sex trafficking. That was a cult. Um, hell, I guess a lot of people will say places like Amway or any multi-level marketing, sort of like a cult thing. Um, I don't know how many active cults there are. I mean, I guess we could type that up. Like a militia could be considered a cult. Anything that's far and extreme could be considered a cult. Like the happened in the Waco compound in Texas. The Johnstown massacre. That was because of a cult. Um, Yeah, I guess I could. I guess I mean, we could type it in and see if how many active cults there are, but that's just gist of it. Hell, anybody running a conversion group is a cult. How about that? There you go. So any church that preaches conversion therapy, that's a cult. Oh, the Joel Osteen cult? Oh yeah, you can see them every Sunday. Every Sunday. Yeah. Um, yeah. That's just me, of course. I mean, if you really do like Joel, if you do like Joel, that's cool. That's cool. I think it's funny though that he keeps asking money for, and he has more money than all his congregation probably combined. He's asking for money. Yes, Mormon Church is one. The Catholic Church is another. Pentecostal churches are another. Most right wing churches are. Uh, Not saying that every church believes in conversion therapy, um, but I know pretty much just about every single church. Well, I mean, some are more open minded. They they don't like the gay lifestyle, and they preach against it, which is really ironic, considering that their church is there through free will, freedom of choice. Oh, Joe Olstein. Oh, I still think he does his TV show. Sure. Uh, all right. Uh, while we're waiting for our guest, this is a good conversation. We can have this conversation without a guest, but I'm being a little tongue in cheek, Star Lord, a little bit. I don't really like right wing churches too much. Yeah, they tend to Exactly. They must have missed something, and that's my point. That's what they do. They miss a little something too. Uh, but like I said, it's neither here nor there. But we will talk to Christopher Moore about this because Christopher Moore is acknowledged and he admits it. He lives, he is a gay film director. He's directing from a position of strength. This story probably is very personal to him. I'm sure he knows about conversion therapy. I'm sure he's will know a lot more than all of us, probably, most likely, assuredly. And believe me, some of the questions we'll be asking him when he gets here, because this, like I said, this is a powerful, powerful movie in a lot of respects. I mean, it also has fun. It definitely has fun. It's definitely a nice horror element to it. We all love that. But if you read between the lines, oh, it can't make sense of a Joel Osteen cult. Well, all I can say is I don't know if you've never seen any of his services or not, but watch him on a Sunday. You go, check out the time frame and just watch how he. Just watch him. Just watch him for a month. Watch him for 4 Sundays a month, and you'll pick up a lot of mannerisms, a lot of keywords, almost like a politician, so to speak. See, Aaron already knows. See, Aaron knows. He knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, I can't say any more after that. You win the internet tonight, Aaron. We used to have in Southern California. I'm dating myself here, but in Southern California, we used to have a car salesman named Cal Worthington. I'm sure if you type up his name in the YouTube, Cal Worthington, you will see that guy. He was the king of car salesmen. That guy, he could sell an Eskimo a cup of ice water in Alaska. That guy was just a phenomenal salesman, and he made a lot of money. He was he's definitely a salesperson. All right, before our guests get here, I should mention the calendar because, like I said, I announced it on Wednesday, but I'm going to announce it again. So next month, in May, we are interviewing people from our community. That's right, we're interviewing people from our community. So I'm so excited because this is something after Women of Horror Month came out and did so well, I thought, well, you know what, we should give back a little bit, and so we are. We're going to interview some people um, from the community. We're going to be talking to our good friend on the first month of May. We're going to be talking to our friend Greg from Fit for Expedition. He is a van lifer. Him and his wife are they're building out a box van and going on the road. May 4th, we're going to interview Ricky from Old AF Reviewers. We're going to go across the pond and talk to Ricky. This isn't going to be your normal Ricky, the Old AF Ricky. This is going to be just Ricky, just Rick, the man. He's a family man. He has kids. He has a wife. He has a job. We're going to just talk to him about that and then slowly get into how he got into YouTube. I'm looking forward to it. He asked me, should I be Ricky from the Old AF? No, I said, no, just be yourself. I just want you to be Rick. So I really look forward to just chatting with him. The YouTube Rick. Well, Ministry was a great rock band. Rick, that YouTuber Rick. Yes, who comments? Yes, Rick from Old AF. Yes, he leaves comments. He's a great supporter of us all. He supports us all. He leaves comments all the time. That's him. And then we're going to be talking to Carrie Craze Cinema down at the at 8 o'clock on the 4th. She's a new YouTuber as well. She's very nice. She's very sweet. She loves horror. She's a very sweet young lady. Her channel is relatively new. So we'll be talking to her about her love of horror and her channel. And that will be at night. Now I do have a couple of regular guests, coming in. Well, you expect that, right? So on Thursday, the May 5th, we're interviewing director Rich Ragsdale. Rich Ragsdale. He's got a brand new movie out called The Long Night, and that's going to be starring Taylor Scout Compton. I think they said that right. It's a Scout Taylor Compton, maybe a Scout Taylor Compton. Someone will know that. The girl who played in the Halloween movies. Lord. All right, our first guest is here, so let me go get him. It's Emma.
Hi.
Yay! It's Emma.
We're together.
Yes.
Oh my God! Hell yes! All right. I was really hoping that would happen. I was really hoping. I was like, yeah. How are you two doing?
We're good.
We're pretty good. Just had a rehearsal and some pizza, so
could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to de-traumatize the cheetah. He's terribly scared of Mary Esther now, and so
who isn't? Good Lord.
For real.
My God.
She's
Christopher, you have created a classic character.
Oh gosh, really?
Yes. Mary Esther is going to be talked about for a long time. That is a phenomenal character, and yeah, congratulations. It's always isn't it always the goal of a good horror film? Isn't it always the goal to create a memorable character?
Oh,
a villain.
Yeah.
You gotta just, that's what you think of when you think of the villain. It's like nobody. I mean, if you mention Jason, if you mention Friday the 13th, they might be able to get you Mrs. Voorhees, but I don't think anybody else can name like 3 characters from that movie right off the top of their head.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but she's so memorable. Yeah, she's she's freaking
right.
I mean, Joanne deserves a lot of the cred for making her so great. I mean, oh my God, I love her so much.
She's so talented.
She's the best.
I thought you two played off excellently together, Meredith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, jeez. I mean, just perfect yin and yang. It's like, hell yeah, that's what you really want to see, and
thank you.
I was Christopher. You really do got a supremely bright future ahead of you, and you too, Meredith. I'm glad you're still with us. I honestly thought I was like sort of nervous because the last time we talked, you were gearing up to go out to LA for pilot season, and I'm going like, well, that'll probably be it. We'll see her again. But
then COVID.
Yeah.
See, so something good out of COVID did happen.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's who you talk to, right? Let me go get my co-host, the mighty Hobbs whore.
Oh, fantastic.
All right.
That's right. Ta-da!
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? Let me see if I can do that picture thing again.
Oh, I need to go in.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. We
stay
did this.
here. I need to find
Just
my
don't
light.
move.
Stay right here and look like that the whole time.
Perfect.
Let's see if I can do this. There we go.
Oh,
even better.
Wow.
Okay.
What's up?
It's magic.
Perfect. I love
It's
it.
magic.
Yeah, right.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Good.
how's it going?
Better
doing
now.
good.
I just watched your movie last night.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
I feel better after the outcome.
Hobbs,
Yeah.
did you have nightmares of Mary Esther too?
I did. Felt something jabbing me, like in my side.
I was
Like, what
afraid
the
to
hell's
say.
going on?
I was afraid to say anything.
Yeah. I was afraid to tell her anything about me from like my childhood,
She would use it against you.
Oh yeah, she would definitely
That's right.
manipulate you.
That's
She's
right.
the type.
What? Let's see. What? I forget what comment. Oh, I think he's joking with me. Okay. So yeah, welcome into 8 Questions with. This is the other show, the B show compared to the A show. But we're glad to have you here. We're very excited to talk about Children of Sin. It's a great movie. It's a fantastic movie, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was very impressed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was one of the better made movies I've seen probably this year.
Wow. Good Lord.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
not exaggerating. I don't sugarcoat. I'm not exaggerating. You guys are very talented. I've said that since the first one.
Thank you so much.
I can't imagine what you guys would do with like a ridiculous budget.
Actually, we were just talking about that. Like, what if we had money? Wouldn't that be nice?
That is something that I look at. I look at too. It's like I see a director, I talked to a director named Joe Leone earlier, and he also has that same type of skill set as you do, Christopher. You know, he's got that eye, he's got that talent, and I watched one of his movies, and I kept on thinking like, give this guy, give him $50,000, give him $100,000, and watch what he could do with it. And I think I think the same way. I think if you had a bigger budget, it would be an all just to watch what you create.
The only thing is, you'd have to have me in the film as well. I've got to do something. Just
we're on
millions. I would draw millions. I'm telling you,
just a little bit of money, then we are good to go.
All you need to do is just create the movie. It has to be around Halloween though. It has to be around pumpkins.
Oh, okay. I'd be fine with that. I've always wanted.
Mary Esther could kill me. She could kill me.
She would probably love to.
Yeah.
She loves to kill.
She does.
I'm sure I have a hit list out there somewhere.
Thirst for blood,
Wow, yeah. What a fantastic character though.
She's just, oh my God. She's actually scares me, which is hard to do. She's pretty freaky.
Because I'm sitting over here and I'm watching Robbie, and I'm thinking, oh boy, this guy's, this is the guy, this is the badass of the movie, right? And you're thinking, this is it. And then all of a sudden, then you take a small trip to the house of Abraham, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't see Robbie lasting very long in this house either,
Yeah, really.
Right?
Exactly. I think she'd take care of him too.
Yeah.
And what a pleasant surprise to see our very own Christopher Moore playing Hank.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, in the movie for like I don't know,
tearing it up.
15 minutes or so, and
longer than this.
You were. Sheesh. I'm glad
it didn't even look like a low budget shot to me. It didn't even look like the way it was shot. The camera didn't even look low budget to me at all. It was just.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you so much. I mean, it costs like about 45 cents to make, so that really means a lot.
Hey, I've got 45 cents somewhere in a couch somewhere. Let's do it.
I can make another movie with that. I can do it.
I was gonna say you can dash for 45 cents, Hobbs.
I would do it. Monster Dash.
Yes.
Aaron, you're asking about the movie. The movie is going to actually premiere tonight on the Friday? Friday a.m., 12 a.m.
I'm assuming, it's just Friday, April 22nd. I'm not sure when Amazon puts their stuff on, because like Netflix, like you have to wait until like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
I think it just depends on the time zones and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it will be on there, holding my breath for tomorrow, I hope.
Okay, so it'll probably be if you're on the West Coast, it'll be on 3 a.m. on 3 a.m. on the East Coast and midnight on the West Coast. That'll come on. Yeah.
I hope so.
Jennifer is saying, love seeing Hobbs's face. That's right. That's right. Yeah. See, if I knew all I had to do was to get Meredith and Christopher on here to get Hobbs to show his face, I would have done this like 52 times already.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Bring me out of the realms of the darkness for Meredith.
There's there's two things that are make Hobbs show his face. Meredith and donuts. So it's one of those two things.
You're a fan
I'm
of
in good
donuts.
company.
That's
Yeah,
great
this is
company.
great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm glad to be back to see you guys. I've been looking forward to this. I just watched the movie. I probably ended it at like 1 a.m. last night, so it's still fresh in my mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome. Yeah, we just had a screening last night, like the last theatrical screening that we know of yet. Maybe there will be more. I don't know. That would be cool. But
cool.
it was so much fun just to go and
Such
watch
a
it again.
blast.
Hello to everybody in the chat. Thanks for the kind words. I'm back.
Yep, here we go. Here we don't have the links, but there's the channel right there, Amazon Prime. So yep, here we go. So I guess the first thing we need to do, Christopher and Meredith, I guess we should catch up with what you guys been doing besides the movie, and then we'll talk about the movie.
Okay. Cool. What have we been doing?
What have we been doing? We've been doing detective shows.
Detective shows. Yeah. We work with a group called the Detectives, and we do these comedy mystery shows in restaurants and people's houses. We just come to people's houses,
like around the area.
Yeah, it's a hoot.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
I think, now you were doing that last time we talked, Meredith. So you got confirmed to that?
Yeah.
It might have been. Yeah.
Wow. I feel like I just started.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be calling you Sherlock Mohler now because you're solving all these crimes, or?
Yep, that's me. Sherlock Mohler. That's me. I've been doing a lot of modeling. You can see that on my Instagram, just at Meredith Mohler. I've just booked a movie called, I want to say it's called The Stokes River Haunting. If I've got that wrong, I'm going to feel so bad. But it looks really, really good. I don't want to give anything away about that because it hasn't started shooting yet. But I'm very excited about that. That's really all I have to plug right now.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I've been working on this movie for the past year, but then I've done a documentary, which is the first one that I've ever done. And I think it turned out well. We'll find out. I think it's supposed to premiere in June around here as like a kind of a local thing. And we'll see how that goes because it's all new for me. I've done, I don't know, maybe 4 feature films, but this is my first doc. So
that's so cool.
I don't know what's going to happen. So it was weird to have to shoot that as I was also shooting this and cutting it together. And so my mind's all like in a weird jumble now. I'm not really sure what I'm doing or who I am. It's just,
which way did he go? Which way did he go? One question. One thing I have to point out. You mentioned your modeling, Meredith, and I commented to you this because one picture was really, it was really good to me, and I was really proud of you for doing it. You took your picture, and on the picture, it shows your port, and you didn't disguise it or nothing. I can't tell you how proud I was for you not to do that.
Thank you.
It meant a lot to me, actually.
I don't like to edit it out. It's a part of me. People normally ask, photographers normally ask. They're like, "What do you do about that?" And like, ultimately, it's up to you. It's your photo, but I prefer it stay in unless it's just completely distracting and ruining it. But if it's okay, I'd like for it to stay. It's a part of me. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that was badass. I have to.
Thank you.
No, I meant a lot to me because of what it represents. Because we know what it's for. It's to keep you alive, and it kept my wife alive for a long time. So it's a thing of beauty to me in my eyes. So I was proud of you for not covering it up.
Thank you.
So how have you been health wise? You've been doing really well. I mean, we saw you running in the movie.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot better as of recently. Just started some new treatments and they've just really clicked. Still getting saline IVs through my port, just following the doctor's orders. But the POTS syndrome is doing a little bit better. The gastroparesis is honestly about the same, but we still, we deal with that as it comes. We manage.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
you
about.
were
Go ahead, Hobbs.
you were very active in the film. And I just thought to myself, after everything we talked about on the last interview, it's remarkable how much active you were in the film. You know,
Well,
how long was it after we did the first interview, or was it during that you were filming?
it was during the filming.
I think it was.
It was
yeah.
during
Yeah.
filming.
Yeah, because you
Wow.
talked about it, and then I think I talked about it on mine too. So we
Yeah.
must have. I guess we were filming. Yeah.
We were filming.
Yeah.
Because that was the day I was supposed to go to Comic-Con.
That's right. That's right.
And Lane backed out on me.
That's
But
right.
that's a different story.
Oops.
But
Okay. We're better than Comic-Con. Don't go to Comic-Con. Come here and talk to us.
Yeah,
we're
well,
more
Comic-Con
fun.
was during the
Same.
day. So I was going
That's
to do
right.
both.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's still
I don't know if
remarkable,
you-
though. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but the cheetah came by to throw you a look.
no, I didn't see.
The cheetah.
The cheetah.
Did I see the cheetah?
Oh, the baby
Oh.
is the baby.
This is it. This is what the channel's named after for.
So
so cute.
Yeah, he is. He's very. And he's a ham too. He's ready for his close up, Mr. Moore.
Oh, yeah.
That's the star of my next movie. I'm gonna remake Cat's Eye, and I'll just there you go.
Chris, I have a
That's
question for you.
Sure.
Had you had any training in acting prior to this film? Have you acted in movies prior to, Chris?
Training, not so much. I've done it before, but I was never trained. I've done a lot of stuff on stage, and I had a small part in my last film, and an even smaller part in Triggered, but that's really about as much film as I've done. I'm kind of scared about trying to direct myself in a film, and so if I'm going to be in one, it's going to be smaller, because I feel like sometimes you get sort of, you lose focus at times, and you can either give a good performance or you can be a good director. And so you have to kind of, but what helped with this one was that the cast was so great that I didn't have to direct them that much. So I was free to be in my actor brain, because they were doing a great job. So I didn't have to be like, okay, well, I'm in this scene right now, but they're doing something really weird, and I'm gonna have to correct them after I call cut. You know, it was like they always knew what they were doing, and so that helped me a lot. So if I can work with another group like that, I would act a lot more. But you know,
let me make a suggestion, and I would refrain from taking lighter roles, because you are absolutely fantastic in that, both of you. And
thank
I
you.
would have never have known that you guys would not have had professional training for at least 10 to 15 years. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
But really, really good. I was thoroughly, everybody, quite frankly, everybody in the movie.
Yeah,
they're
that
so
they're
great.
all so talented.
I love this cast so much. They're just my favorite.
I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I sugarcoat movies a little bit, but there are movies that just irk me, and that they could have been done slightly better for less budget. And I watched this last night, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, this is good.
Mhm.
You know? And I didn't have a chance to respond to Pat about it, because I watched it so late, because I've been working so much. But man, I can't believe, Patrick, the shooting, did you think that was done on a low end film or anything like that? The way it was,
I really love the feel of it. The set design was really great. Your location for the Abraham house, that really was really cool, because honestly, that inside of that house looked as dated as their idea. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, that place looked like it was back in the Stone Age, just like their conversion therapy. And there's my question to you, Chris, is this: how much of that acting really was acting, and how much was really you, as far as your character?
Oh God. I mean, it was mostly acting, but I mean, I've been there before. I mean, because when you're in the South and you're young and sort of in the closet, some of that stuff is very true to life. I never got to the point like Hank, where he was completely trying to become someone totally different. But I know a lot of people who have, and their lives have gone in a very sometimes very sad direction. And I knew a guy once who was actually sent to a place like this, and he was telling me about it, and he didn't seem like he was troubled. He was like, yeah, my parents just decided to send me there, and it was kind of cool. And he was explaining all the things that they did, and I was just horrified. Like, they did what? And he was like, yeah, but it's cool. And I'm like, but did it work? And he's like, well, no. But I was like, but why would you say this? So some of that's a little bit based on him slightly. I'm not going to name names, but it was, but yeah, it was mostly acting. I've never been that, what's the word for it? I guess just, desperate, I guess, in that sense.
Where did you do your research for that, the conversion therapy? Because it's still pretty big.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Oh,
yeah. It will. I watched a lot of stuff on YouTube talking to people who have actually been through this. And what's weird is that a lot of the stuff in the film, besides the killing that we know of, is real. I mean, they will say, you're not going to eat, you're not going to drink, you're going to get stuck in this dark room, we're going to tie you up, we're going to beat you, verbally assault you. The whole scene, I don't want to spoil it, but kind of towards the middle of the film where they're all together in a group where Mary Esther is trying to get them to, go to the other side. That is stuff that happens. They do that stuff. It's insanity. And to me, that's the most disturbing part of the film. And it's the most truthful part. I mean, they do that stuff still to this day. They just have to be a little bit more sneaky, though, now, because there are some people who are trying, thank God, to sort of get this stuff banned, but they're still everywhere in the U.S. And I think they just outlawed it in Canada, I think, which is great. But in the U.S., it's still a free-for-all, which is horrifying.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Yeah.
It really is.
I feel like it's hard to talk about the film a little bit because there's so much I want to ask about, but I don't want to give it away.
Right.
Because there's so much good, like, go-between stuff and, like, angles, like.
Yeah.
Oh, there are scenes in there there are two scenes in there that just, I just did not. I was really set me on edge. One involved Meredith and one involved Joe and Joanne, right? Joanne.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's two scenes that they both had in common that just. Oh man, I had me on the edge of my seat, and I was just like, I'm sitting over here, just like shit, because I mean, those things. I think you know what I'm talking about, and it's just like, and then, especially when Mary Esther, oh man, I was like, that's just absolutely nuts. I'm loving it. I'm just freaking loving this movie so much. But you know what? You're right. This movie did play, especially in the first part of the movie. It did play more like a drama and more as a sort of like a history. It was more of a sense of a history. You're like, okay, normal. This is what goes on,
right?
And it didn't really feel like it where it was going to go at first, and then and sometimes the truth is more scarier than fiction.
Oh, absolutely, yes, definitely.
And so I was just, I was really impressed with that. Where did you come up with the idea for it, Christopher?
Yeah, where did this come from?
Well, I got the idea.
I mean, some of it's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's
pretty nutty.
I gotta know that.
Pretty nuts. In fact, when I gave the script to some people, I don't think they knew how to read it, and they thought it was going to be maybe even darker than it turned out to be. There's a scene involving my character and what is referred to as the sin stick. that when people read that scene, they were like, "Is this pornography?" And I was like, "No, we're not going to show it. It's going to be classy." And they were like, "I can't be in this movie. I can't be in. I couldn't do that." And I was like, "Okay," but I think it came to me in high school. I think because I had heard about places like this, and I was like, "That's a great place for like a slasher flick because there's already so much craziness there, and it's an isolated place." The people in charge are already a little bit crazy, so it's not too far-fetched that they might snap and get a little, knife happy, I guess.
Knife
happy. And you have all these people that have been crammed into this small, secluded space, and I just thought, well, that's like every great slasher film, so why not try to do that? And it kind of marinated for a while, and then I was working on another script during COVID, and I was enjoying it, but it wasn't quite gelling completely. And I thought, what about this idea that I've had for a while about the conversion camp? And I started to write it, and I realized we could make this with, hardly anybody. I mean, it was a small cast and crew, one main location for the most part. And I thought this is the perfect movie for this time. And then there was all that stuff going on in like Florida and all that stuff too. So I thought, well, just in terms of how society is now, it's also a great time for this story. So I thought everything was just kind of coming together, and I thought this is the time. This is the time to do it. So just wrote.
But I hear a whole bunch of crazy stuff happens in Florida.
That's right.
I don't get it. Isn't that weird? That's always bothered me. I'm like, what's with Florida? It is true. All the crazy shit is in Florida.
It's true.
What is that about?
I was referencing the movie.
But that's why that line is in the movie, because I was like, what is it about Florida? I don't get it. It's crazy.
Right. So good, man.
Thank you.
So blown away by it.
Thank you so much.
It kind of had that feel of A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Oh, I love that movie.
Kind of playing on people's fears a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Or what they're hiding,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody staying together.
Right.
It was just it had that feel to it a little bit.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that movie so much. So that's a huge compliment, But I love that cast where, you really love everybody in that movie so much. And when they die, you're like, oh no, I really liked them, and that's what I love about horror, is that you get that feeling of like, oh no, I like them a lot. Why did they have to die? And
yeah,
I like
you're right. The characters were really likable.
Yeah, I love that movie so much.
Though I would have liked to shake Jackson a little bit, though, because Jackson was really, really slow to come to the table. And he was like, "Wow!"
Took him a little while.
Wow, it's like, what's going on? What's happening? And he's like, well, don't you see what's happening? No, not really. What's happening? It was like, dude, wake up, listen to your sister.
I know, she's the voice of reason here. Yeah, she's always right.
I'm always right.
Meredith, what kind of research did you do for Emma?
I have said before, Emma was supposed to be mine because I am a lot like Emma. It was a lot like playing myself. I don't want to spoil anything, but a lot of her experiences in her home, I've gone through something relatively similar. Not to quite that extreme, but close. And I just really pulled from that and all the anger built up and how you would feel having to be in that, and just kind of relived it. And of course, all that teenage angst. It's not that long ago since I was 17, so I was able to just get right back to that sarcastic, edgy, I hate my life and everyone in it, I don't deserve to be here person. It really wasn't that hard.
I hope that one scene in the bathroom in the beginning of the movie, I hope that wasn't part of it.
That would be exactly what I'm talking about. But that's okay. I'm very open about it. I don't want to ruin the movie. But I just pulled a lot from that personal experience and tried to just let it flow through me. And I mean, I guess that would be method, right?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. I consider that like
So,
method.
Yes.
I was a little bit surprised. There's two scenes that really caught me by surprise, and I had to hand off to both you and Chris for pulling it off. But there was a couple of scenes where I was just like really amazed at your range.
Oh,
Right. I mean, as far as like you were able to do it, it's like wow, she's she's. I was very happy to see it. You're right. I can't say it because it ruined the movie, but there was two scenes that were just stood out with me. Like, wow. So like she's coming into her own.
oh,
And,
thank you so much.
yeah.
So I feel like I'm kind of, I don't mean to interrupt, but I feel like I'm kind of speaking on what he's talking about.
Hmm.
I know Triggered. I watched it probably 100 times. Your character in that versus your character in this is completely polar opposite.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel
was
like the
so
person
fun.
that we met, the person we met in the first interview was kind of like the person in the film a little bit in terms of, I know that you were pulling from how you were in real life to that. I could feel that in the movie. And I know that Triggered was kind of, maybe not necessarily a real life comparison, but two polar opposite characters,
Oh yeah.
Did you get that, Pat?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Meredith. How do you think Callie would have survived in the Abraham house?
Oh shit.
There's a sequel.
For real.
Oh my! Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
She wouldn't have lasted a second.
Yeah, she would have lasted a
Oh
day.
my God! Can you
I don't know.
imagine
I don't know. You think she would? You think? I don't know about that. Do you think she would have lasted, or you think that Mary Esther would have
Right?
would have lasted?
Wait, it's like a
Oh,
Freddy versus
man.
Jason situation.
Now I
No
kind
doubt.
of want to make that next. That would be so
I
much
would love
fun.
to do that.
Callie versus Mary Esther.
Yes.
That's a lot of crazy.
That is
That's
But hold on though.
the whole cup
I
of
would
crazy.
be down.
You could flip it. You could probably flip that idea if you think about some of the film. You probably could flip that idea a little bit.
Mhm.
I would think.
You're right. They're right. They are opposite. They are extreme opposites.
That's true.
That's what's cool about. They really are. They're extreme opposites. Mary Esther and her, and Callie, very extreme. That would be a very interesting show.
That would
I
be
think-
But you can't-
actually. Now I'm.
I
You can't do it. You can't really do a versus. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your cast. Now, where did you say it a small cast, but it seemed like a pretty decent sized cast to us. I mean, you had a lot of different good young talented actors in there. They all did a great job.
Oh, they're
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
They all did a great job.
Oh, so easy to work with, all of them. Just a joy.
Yeah, I mean the energy they would put off in scenes was just so easy to pull from.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
wonderful.
they're spot on. I just want to know one thing, if you can answer this. Where did you find that Abraham house at? Whose house was that, or where did you find it?
Oh, that is actually an Airbnb that I found because I was like, I'm writing this movie and I need to know exactly what this place is going to look like because I'd like to write it for a location because it sucks when you write a film and you find a location and you're like, it's not quite what I pictured, and then you have to go and change everything. So I was like, I'd like to know this time exactly what I have to work with. So I found this Airbnb that looked exactly as I pictured in my head. And I scrolled through the pictures and I was like, oh my God, look at this bedroom. Look at this bathroom. Oh my God, this is just what I want. And we got it it was like 200 something a night. And we had it for about a week. And it was great. It looks a lot more secluded than it actually was. It was like way at the end of like a cul-de-sac, I think. And it sort of backed up to the reservoir, which was perfect.
Oh yeah.
So it looked really secluded, but actually it was in like a random residential neighborhood somewhere. And I'm sure they were like, what's with all the screaming going around here? But
I'm still blown away with you, Chris. I got to figure out where all this came from because that movie was intense, man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I don't mean it in a bad way. It was my jam for sure. But some of that stuff, I'm like, Chris, what's going on, man? Like, what?
Yeah. Mary
Where'd
Esther.
some of this come from?
Mary Esther is a classic.
Real
She's
life,
yeah.
It's just some of this stuff is going on right now as we speak, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the scariest parts is just the stuff that happens, abuse and neglect and parents who don't really understand their kids or don't want to and just sort of leave them. I mean, it all goes back to like the classic Grimm brothers stories. You know, you have Hansel and Gretel, which is about two kids who are neglected by their parents and left to rot in the woods. And they find this house with this witch inside, and then they have to outsmart her. And I don't want to spoil stuff, but I wanted to correct that original story's ending where they go back home after that and they go into the loving arms of their father. And I always thought, you're going to go back into the arms of the person that left you in the woods in the first place. Even as a kid, I thought that was so weird.
Yeah.
So it all comes from those stories.
But see, you take it in so many. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because there's so many different angles that like I'm going to give up the whole damn story if I keep talking about it. It's that good.
It's just like you wanted to talk about. I totally get it. Yeah.
I just need to like take it down. Like if it was just the four of us, I'd be nonstop. But we're in the chat here, so I'm trying to. But the guys in the chat, you've got to check this movie out. You got to. It's a must watch.
Do.
Yes,
please
watch our movie.
Yeah, and trust me and Hobbs when we sit there and say that it's not easy creating a memorable villain. It isn't. It is very hard. I mean, we see so many different horror films, and you know, most of the time I can't tell you who the killer is. You know, half those movies. Who was the killer in Pumpkins? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I just watched that movie. I still couldn't tell you. But when you mention like an iconic killer, like like Freddy or Jason or the Tall Man, or whatnot, the Pinhead, you immediately think about him right away. It's just iconic, come right to you. And we're telling you right now, she could definitely be Pamela Voorhees' sister.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
And I think that people will remember that. So how's the state of Mississippi going with the filmmaking? I mean, is it still a small area, or has Triggered and Children of Sin and some others, have they started to widen it out a little bit now, especially now that COVID's been listed?
There's there's a little community.
It's a very tight knit small group. It hasn't really expanded much. I don't think.
No, but I mean, there's a little work to be found.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some people doing some great stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Got to get on that Filming in Mississippi Facebook page.
Oh yeah. They've got all kinds of good stuff on there.
And we're not paid to do this, or we're not paid to endorse this. And I didn't come out of my hiding just to pay to endorse this. This movie is that good. I'm not exaggerating. Anybody in the chat?
Hey,
did you hear the man?
No fee paid. It's that good.
Let's put it this way. So all you A24 slappies who keep on saying X is all that, hold that phone until you see Children of Sin. Then come back to us and tell us that. Because I'm telling you now, if you liked X and you guys are all over me about watching X, I'm telling you right now, I'll throw that movie against X any day, all day.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you right now, this is a very, and the thing is, it's very relevant. That's the edge, Christopher, is that this movie is powerful in the fact that it's relevant. It's basically taken away, it's important, not, you're talking about taking away, we see all the truck drivers out there, so Paul, taking away, talk our freedoms, doing that Mel Gibson bullshit. Yeah. And yet you got this shit happening right here in America right now to the gay lesbian community. The young kids are having their self-will, their self-determination, and their free will taken away. Maybe it's well-meaning, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it's scary that kids can be put in places like this to undergo what your characters did in Children of Sin.
Absolutely,
it's an important movie. Not only is it a good horror film, but it's an important film.
Thank you so much.
Especially, like I said, the first half of the movie is, I really enjoy the first half too. I mean, because it reminds me of a movie I'm a big fan of, and that is The Devil's Doorway. In the first half of that movie, it's all historical fact, and that's scarier than the horror that comes behind it.
Absolutely.
And in this movie, that's how I felt with this. It's like the first half of the movie was more scary because it was real. It was like this is what's going on, and that's what really got me. That's what really made this movie stand out for me. Well, plus that crazy ass Mary Esther.
I can't imagine anybody besides Joanne in that part.
Oh my God, no way.
She was perfect.
Have other people reviewed it besides us so far, or watched it besides us?
There have been a few. Yeah, we started getting some more reviews in this week, and it's the typical. Some love it, some are like it was fine, and then there have been a few that are like, hated it. So you're just gonna get that no matter what.
Oh yeah,
so,
you're not gonna please everybody.
Nah, it's impossible.
No.
What you gonna do?
Have you heard what kind of feedback have you gotten on it so far?
I mean, I would say it's been predominantly very positive, and the two screenings that we had were just through the roof.
Oh yeah, they went so well.
So great. In fact, I actually posted on the page the responses from the screenings because I recorded them because I thought if this goes well, I want to know like where they laugh, where they scream, and so I recorded it and I put it on there because I just thought it was so cool to hear. I just put it up this afternoon.
Okay.
So it's a hoot because they're going through the roof. They're laughing, clapping, screaming. It was like a party.
It really was.
It was unbelievable. So great.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, and I'm not trying to be subjective here, but I am trying to be subjective. But you know who you should reach out for this and show this film to, and I guarantee you he'll take it to conventions. I guarantee you he would love this film is Mark Patton.
Really?
Mark Patton, yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. Okay.
He's all about rights and things like that, and for the LGBT community, things like that.
Right.
And I feel like he would really enjoy this and maybe share it out to where you'd even get more exposure from it.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I'd love that.
Do you guys follow him on Facebook?
I follow him on Instagram.
He's really active on Facebook and even responds. So maybe if you just send him a link.
Sure. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
You I love it.
Speaking of this, distributing, how's that been for the movie? Have you find anybody that you felt comfortable doing it with? As far as distributing the film, did you find anybody that would?
Well, I had some bad experiences with my last ones, so I decided I'm gonna go it alone this time. So the streaming is from my company. It's all me. And I did it with my last film, Stranger Among the Living, and it went better than it had with the distributor. So, and I think this is a much better film. So I'm optimistic that it'll do a lot better, and I'll actually maybe see a few bucks at the most. But
wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice, right?
I don't see. I think you guys are underselling it. I'm sorry. I do. I think if we get it to the and I love you guys. I'm not trying to be a dick about that. I think that you guys could probably be doing a lot. You will do a lot. We'll do really well with the film. I don't know how much monetary you'll bring in, but I think this could do really well.
I'm proud of it.
I'm so proud of it.
I'm so proud.
It's I think it's the film I'm the most proud of thus far.
Same.
I really enjoyed making it, and it's also the only film that I've made because usually when I make a film, I'm with it for so long that once it finally screens, I'm like, I never want to watch it again. But I've seen this one multiple times now, and I'm like, I still like this movie. I enjoy watching this movie. So that's got to say something.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I don't mean underselling it like, is it like you saying it's bad? Like underselling it like selling your guys short on the film. That's how good it is. Like, I think it's going to do better than just a couple bucks. You know.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
That would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
That'd be so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm with Hobbs on that. I'm really bummed out about, that's really sort of depressing to hear too, because you're not the only one. You weren't the only one when we talked before, Christopher,
Right.
about having bad experiences with distributors. And I really don't get that, because they're slicing the nose off in spite of their faces by screwing over filmmakers. It's like
Yeah.
your company is on your company's on the fence. You're on the wire. As far as physical media goes.
Exactly.
To me, it's like it's even it's more important now than ever that they go ahead and treat you fairly and be transparent and do their level-headed best to make you money.
Right.
Because if you make money, that means they're making money.
Mhm.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say, yeah, well, we spent $40,000 promoting your movie, so until we get that back, you're not going to see anything.
Exactly.
It really should be, especially now, and especially the part about not being in touch, not
Mhm.
communicating at all.
Oh.
That I don't get that at all. At all. That's a bad business model, and I don't understand how they get away with it. But you know what, people, when you do interviews like this, and people like us hear about it, and we talk about it, it affects it. It should affect their bottom line, because I don't like dealing, or I'm sure Hobbs feels the same way. It's no fun dealing with a company that you want to go out there and buy their product, right? Oh, I got this new movie, this is great, but all of a sudden you realize that how much is the filmmaker making back out of this?
Mhm.
Is he getting anything? Is he going to get anything out of that?
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, and I'm not saying this to act like I'm all high and mighty. I don't. It's just me. I've seen lesser quality movies with huge draws at conventions
Mhm.
with people that had standing room only in them to watch them, and
Yeah.
those DVDs sold like hotcakes at conventions. I highly, highly recommend conventions for you guys if you can do them, because they do film festivals. Get
Yeah.
you guys out there. You guys are too good not to do it. I'm just
Thank
being
you.
honest. I'm not
Thank you
I'm
so
not
much.
bullshitting anybody here. I don't do that. It's too good for you guys not to be doing conventions. I know it's a lot of work, but at least get your films to the conventions, because this is good stuff.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I gotta agree with that. I think if you just get in front of the right audience, your movie will sell.
I sure
And
hope so.
it'll sell mainstream too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not going to be just for the little, it's not going to be for the niche market. And I want people to understand this too. This, though, it has a lot of gay and lesbian, as far as talking about their rights and conversion therapy and everything. This is not just centered about that. This affects us all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What you're
Absolutely.
seeing is just a slice. Look, if it could happen to them, I mean, this is almost like a. This is almost like a. I mean, this is how I'm just telling you how I see it. When I watched this movie and I saw that and how scary it was and how people were being denied and taken away and everything else, you just can't help but think about the past. We've seen this before. I've seen this before in my lifetime. My grandparents and whatnot, they've seen it before. You know, it, and this is what, to me, what makes the movie stand out is the taking away of our liberties like that. This happens. If you see in the movie, it does happen. Um, the horror is just it's a nice added element to it. But the story is really what you be paying attention to. Watch the story, see what's said, see what's not being said. Um, I really would love to see this film getting some. I know it won't, but I'd like to see this film get into a little bit more of a I'd like to see someone like from a church or whatnot take a gamble on this. You know,
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, well, I'd love to read the review.
no, I mean, I know, you know, for the young people's group or whatnot, you know, like a little bit, you know, I think a more open-minded group with, you know,
Right.
youth group, I think they would be open to that. Maybe not the other side of it, but yeah, I think your film needs to be exposed any way it can, just for the
Agreed.
story,
Yeah.
just for the story.
Oh, I
We'll
agreed.
bring
I
that
just
any way
don't.
we
I
can.
don't know how. Maybe surprising people at a church with it one day would be. Maybe
I
preparing.
think the right open-minded church. I mean, she's believe me, I've seen. There's been a couple movies I saw in church settings that I didn't think I would ever see in a church setting.
Could be good.
Yeah.
Up until some of the last 30 seconds, 5 to 15 minutes of it, then you're like, well, maybe we should.
Yeah,
It's kind of brutal.
Maybe that part of it might be a little bit of a struggle. But then again, seeing good triumph over evil is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could really feel. You could feel the end of that movie. Like feel it. Like, damn. You know.
Where did you get how did you come up? Did you do the music for the movie yourself, Christopher?
Oh no, I'm not that good. No. I have a composer named Luke, and he's done my last 3 movies, and he's fantastic. He's based out of New York, and he just gets that sound, that kind of classic sound that I love so much. And actually, when we first started to do this, he was going to try to do a more sort of orchestral score, and he tried some stuff out, and some of it was great, but his style is so wonderfully sort of synthesized, and I thought, you know, that's why I love you so much, is because your sound is so great. It reminds me of those like John Carpenter scores, and so he went back in and changed some cues and made it more of that sort of classical style, and I think it's his best work yet. I think the stuff
I caught that. I caught some of the Carpenter references.
Yeah.
I caught that in the film.
Oh, it's so good. I love his score so much. And I think he's going to be releasing the score soon.
Oh, cool.
So, and he's been talking about maybe putting it out on an LP, and I'm like, that would be amazing. That would be so cool to have a big, bulky record, you know, with the poster art. Oh my God.
That would be so cool.
It'd be so amazing. Oh, so I hope that happens.
You do know that this movie kicks Hereditary's ass, right?
Oh,
I'm being dead serious.
What?
I'm being dead serious.
We don't have Tony Collette, but we
you know what?
I'm just telling you, if I had, I don't even hate Hereditary. He does.
Thank God you don't have Tony Collette. Thank God. That's all I gotta say about that.
I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just being honest. I don't want to bullshit anymore.
No,
I'll take a whole bunch to a convention. I'll sit in for a day and I'll sell them. Whatever we got to do to get it out there.
I'm game.
Put me in, coach.
Let's go.
Yes.
Wow. You guys all heard that. That was we did not. This totally unscripted. Did not plan that at all. You heard it here from Hobbs right there. He said this. You're the man, Hobbs.
I'm just keeping it real, dude. I'm not here to pull punches.
I'm so digging that right now. I'm so loving that. Yeah, but where did you find Joanne?
Well, she is known around here. She does a lot of work at a theater here called New Stage, and she's always brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And she's played like some of the great parts. I mean, she played Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Blanche in A Streetcar Named Desire. I mean, people don't play those parts unless they have chops.
Oh yeah.
And
has she done horror though? That's the part. Has she done horror?
She did. She did a film in 1983 called Scalps. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. It's a Fred Olen Ray cult classic called Scalps.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And she was in that movie. And
yeah, but we're talking 83.
83, yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's almost 40 years and she's still that damn good.
Oh God.
That's talent, man. I'm just telling you.
Even better. She's just absolutely stunning.
Oh
And
yeah.
the nicest person, easiest to work with, and funny.
She's
She's so funny, and you would never know it from the performance because she's so scary.
Mhm.
But
I'm
like,
afraid to go around her, man. Like, I like guarding myself and shit. Like,
I mean, as soon as we call cut, we'd just be laughing.
that was what was so strange, was that I wrote this script and thought this is going to be so depressing to shoot. I thought it was going to be so dark, and everyone was just going to be like, man, this is depressing. And we were laughing throughout the entire shoot.
We had the best
We
time.
couldn't stop laughing.
No.
In the most serious parts, we were cracking up. The minute I called cut, everyone just went, oh my God, this is ridiculous. What we are doing is ridiculous. And we're like, is this movie going to work? You know, because we were just cracking each other up constantly. It's ridiculous.
Did you improvise your big scene at the end, Meredith, with her when she was trying to
a lot of that was
Hobbs?
improvised, but a lot of that was like worked a couple of times too.
Yeah.
We definitely had a couple of run throughs of how all that fight choreography and stuntage was going to work. Stuntage.
I guess that's a word.
It's
right?
a word now.
Stuntage. It's been coined here.
Stuntage.
You did your own stuff.
I like it.
You did your own stunts this for the entire movie, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
They all did.
Everybody did their own
Yeah.
stunts. Everybody did their own things.
Wow, that's a really impressive too.
I can't think of anybody's performance in that film that I can even think of to say, you know, maybe that person wasn't professionally trained.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to talk about the movie that I reviewed recently, but there was a movie I reviewed in the last month. It probably looked like it had a budget of maybe $5, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, but I was just so blown away. It just looked like the cameras you use, the angles. It's crazy.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, this movie's not on the wrong side of the tracks, Hobbs.
How you gonna put me out there like that, Pat?
Don't worry, buddy. Let me help you. We don't have to worry about seeing any blood clouds around either.
Oh.
The I saved you.
This is how we get sued. No, I was kidding.
It's a very special episode, huh?
No, we got Dustin. We watched this month. We got Dustin a couple of times, watching a couple of horror movies that we reviewed, and it's so refreshing after you watch a really. Look, we're not one of those people from the school of, yeah, but at least they made a movie. No, we're in the mood of, you know, at least is the movie any good? You know, is the movie good? You know, if it's good, I'm gonna say so. But like Hobbs, you know, like I'm not gonna cherry coat it. Yeah, I'm not gonna cherry coat it either. When you make a really bad movie and you watch a really just god awful movie, and then you get to watch something like Children of Sin, oh my gosh, it feels like a ray of sunshine. It's really, it's why you watch movies for. You know, it's why you fire up a bag of popcorn, Dr. Pepper, whatnot, and you watch a good movie, and you're and it gets to escape life for a couple of hours.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so much. It's just there's something really depressing about getting all hyped up for a movie, sitting down, and then you get Hereditary. You know.
Well, that's what happened when I got triggered. I told you guys, I went to the video store. I had been I rented a whole bunch of movies that were subpar. I found Triggered at Family Video.
Rest in peace.
And I sat home. This is before I started like reviewing, I believe, even. And I watched it and I was like, damn. Like, did I really just watch this?
Oh.
You know, it was unbelievable. It's the hidden gems. You know?
That is so flattering. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
So the rest of the cast were they all local? Because I remember last time in Triggered, you had to bring in some of your cast in from New York. Now, was this one all homegrown?
Oh yeah.
And have you guys worked together before with any of the actors? Like, have they done the detectives with you or anything like that?
Well,
Or did
Kenny
you
and
do it?
Jeff had.
Mm-hmm.
But the other, no, I don't think I'd worked with anybody else in the
Yeah.
cast before.
I knew Joanne through New Stage slightly, but not very well. And I didn't know anybody else besides you and Kenny because
Yeah.
I didn't know Jeff yet.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about Jeff. We've been talking about Mary Esther and Joanne, but you know what? We got to give Jeff his kudos because Jeff made very. Yeah, he put the creep in creepy.
Oh
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
Ooh.
can tell
Yeah,
you.
that's another one. Like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was flashbacking to it, for Bev Marsh's father. I was flashbacking there, going like, oh shit, here comes, it's like this is the scariest one. I mean, we're unlike it. Unlike it, you did have someone even more scarier than he was, but he was enough to creep you out for the rest of the movie by himself.
What's up, Bones?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now you said because I looked at his movie database page. He's only done 3 projects, and he's that good.
He's done so many great stage performances, though. And what's even more amazing is that he was not the one cast in that part.
Mm-mm.
An actor broke his leg and couldn't do the movie. We found out like the day of that he was not going to do it, and then we had to call in Jeff, who Kenny and I knew from the detectives, and he came in, learned that part in like 3 hours notice.
Yeah,
unbelievable, and turned in that performance. So he's unbelievable, like just
and the nicest guy.
So sweet. And yet you would never know it from the movie. He's so scary.
He's horrified.
He's so nice in real life.
Yeah, your chemistry, Meredith, with him was very palpable on the screen. I mean, it was like you could definitely feel the tension. Great job by the both of you.
Thank you. I mean, he was just so nice off camera. It was easy to be that open and vulnerable with him, knowing that I was going to be okay, especially towards the end there.
Oh yeah, there's the
that was a pretty wicked scene there. That was
for me.
Yeah,
that was scary.
I was thinking, it was impressive.
It's like you want to talk about it because we just seen it, but we can't. It's like, damn.
I'm trying to be vague. I'll just be like the sin stick scene, the plastic bag scene. I'll just.
Yeah. But don't mention the other thing because I haven't yet. I don't want anybody to know. I want people to see it so they can get scared like I was.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I said it. I got scared. All right. Yeah, you can poke fun at me all you want.
I'm so happy.
I got scared.
I love it.
Yeah.
But the end reactions of the film, or the end sequence, is something you would expect to see.
Mm-hmm.
That happens.
Yeah.
People react.
Absolutely.
Those things are legit.
I don't really like movies that I liked how you ended your movie.
Thank you.
I liked it very much. I was very satisfied with the ending.
Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, I really was.
I'm sorry. I would have thought you would have. No offense, because I thought you liked more. I don't know. I'm glad that you did like but I would have thought maybe you would have wanted. I don't know.
You remember Hunter's Moon?
Yeah.
Remember how they ended their movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got me now. That's exactly what I liked about it. That's exactly what I liked about it. Yep.
You like closure. Okay, I got you.
No,
who doesn't like closure?
No, that not at all. That was a very it was possibilities.
Right.
Hey, Steven. I came in late. When and where can we find Children of Sin? It will be on Amazon Prime, most likely starting at 3 a.m. our time. 3 a.m. our time. Yep, and another fan of Triggered.
Go order yourself something. Go buy a movie. Get Amazon Prime for 30 days. Watch it tonight.
And then come back and leave comments on the channel right here. Come back and leave. Yeah, in fact, that's what we want to do. We wanted you guys to come back and leave some comments, so we can share them with the cast and crew of Children of Sin. So if you guys do see the movie, We're also going to leave all their websites and social media down below too, so you can go and maybe leave it on their page or whatnot. But as far as the interview here, we'd love to hear from you about what you thought of the movie. And if you watch Triggered, we'd love to hear that too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have a follow-up. I have a follow-up question from our last meeting, Meredith, and it kind of goes towards you, Chris. Have you guys thought about doing merch for your movies or anything merch for just yourselves?
We have t-shirts.
The
for
pink
ourselves.
wigs. We talked about the pink wigs, didn't we?
We did talk about the pink wigs.
Yeah. For this movie in particular, we've noticed that there's a certain scene that we get comments about, and they say you need to do it as a T-shirt, and it involves the sin stick.
Hashtag sin stick.
And I know the quote you're thinking of to put on the back of it. Absolutely. I know the quote you want to put on the back of it too.
Yep. And I'm like, maybe we should do that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If people really respond, then we'll be like, maybe we should do T-shirts. I'd be cool with that. Or like ruler that says, take out your sin stick,
That was a satisfying clap.
For the
that sounds like
the ones among us.
Hurry up and get it hard.
Sounds like a band. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sin Sticks. Yeah.
Ooh, that is a good band name. I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Sin Sticks.
The Sin Sticks.
So that leads me to the next question. I'm sorry, I'm just enthralled in this. Do you guys do it for the love, or do you do it for the compensation?
Oh, all the money. That's it.
Yeah, because we make so much money. No, it's
I know.
Trust me, it's all about the love.
Yes.
I mean, we don't.
I know. That's a silly question, but I just feel like with the presentation that there could be, it could really go so far, and I'm just trying to figure out. Damn, let's just go get it. Take it as far as you can go with it, even though I know you do it for the love, which is, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was just thought that it was a funny question to ask. So.
Well, I mean, maybe one day we can do it for both.
That would be great. That's the
wonderful.
Goal.
Yeah.
I don't need to be famous. I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I want to. Just comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like well known enough so that they want to hire you, but not well known enough that you're like on tabloids.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. I don't like that.
Nope. I want my privacy.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff.
Are you? Is the plan this year? Are you going to do the plan this year that COVID took away, Meredith? Are you going to be heading out to the coast?
We are remodeling our house, and we're actually almost done remodeling our house. We're hoping to have it on the market by July and be out of here soon after, hopefully.
Now, are you still going to Los Angeles, or are you going to go to Atlanta?
We're going to go to Los Angeles or somewhere close. Rent in city for the first year, figure out where we want to be, and then maybe buy somewhere. My mom, my boyfriend, and myself.
Okay.
Oh, man. I don't know if we should do that, though. I don't want them the Los Angeles people to get a hold of you guys and ruin your good quality of movies.
Turn you into Tony Collette and Hereditary. No.
I like that movie. Let's just keep it real. I like that movie, but I like Children of Sin better.
Oh, thank you. I like
put that on the poster.
Yeah, for real.
I like that.
Well, which movie did you like better, though, Meredith? Do you like Hereditary or this movie? Because I like this movie more.
Like, I was about to say, I can't say I'm a little impartial. Like, I like Children's Sin just a little bit better.
Yeah. What movies have you watched lately, Christopher? Do you draw any inspiration for what you watch?
You would have to think so. I mean, my God.
What have I watched? Well, I do a podcast, so I watch a lot of stuff for that. So the last thing I think I watched was a movie from 2006 called Stay Alive. Do y'all remember that movie? It's something.
It's a horror movie, right?
And I watched Sleepwalkers from '92, I guess, which is fun. There's a lot of
cats in there.
A lot of cats. The cats steal the whole show. I love those.
Yes, they do. Cats. They always do.
Fantastic. I love them. And
that's what they say. That's what they say. You want a $30 million opening weekend? Put a cat in the movie.
Exactly. And I'm trying to think what else I've watched. In terms of recent movies, what's one? Oh my god, I'm so bad at this because I can never remember what I've just watched. I don't know what. I don't know if that speaks of the quality of the movie or not, but just it, I have a weird brain. It's like COVID brain. I think it's a thing. I don't know.
It's a thing.
It must be, right? Because I can't remember anything.
So in other words, you watch things, right?
What did I watch? I'm trying to remember.
I think
so. While we're
I
talking
think I
about that, did you write all of the film, or did you have any help on the outside at all?
Oh no, that was all me. Yeah. I wrote the script. I think it was probably January of last year until about May, and
Wow.
did a few drafts. Got a few people's opinions and kind of tweaked some stuff to make it a little bit tighter, and then we just went right into production.
It's so good. I just I'm done. I'm done with the blabbing. Okay. Just go see it.
Just watch it.
So talk a little bit about your documentary. What's it about?
Oh, it's about this group in town called Capital City Pride, and they are an LGBT organization who decided to put together a pride event during the pandemic, and it's about their struggle to kind of get the money and to make sure they have the right venues and performers. And it was about, I think I started shooting that in May of last year. I started to shoot this movie in June, so I had to take a month off to shoot this, and then I went right back to the documentary until I think we wrapped in October. So I was basically doing both of these at the same time and completely losing my mind in a wonderful way, but it was a little stressful.
Sounds like it.
But the subject matter is they kind of complement one another in a weird way. So I'm excited for people to see it. I'm not sure what the plan is. My producer on that wants to take it to some festivals, so we've started to put it in those and see what happens. And I don't know what to expect because it's my first documentary, so I'm excited.
Are you considering putting this film in festivals?
Well, there's a few that will allow it to be in there if it's been out for distribution, but a lot of them don't, and a lot of them want to make sure that it's a premiere, which I still don't get. Like they don't really want your movie unless it's the first time. Yeah, it's weird. I don't get it.
Wow, what the hell? I didn't know that.
Festivals are kind of tricky. I did them with my last 3, and with this one, I'm not really trying it that much because I'm like, I'd rather people actually see the movie. You know, because at festivals, it's cool if you get nominated or you get an award. That's cool, but I don't think it really makes people want to see your movie that much. So,
Horror Hound Cincinnati will get you in.
Are you sure about?
We'll find a way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. Cincinnati, Horror Hound Cincinnati. All you gotta do is talk to the right people.
Okay.
Hey, Hobbs, tell the organizer that if he puts Children of Sin in the convention, that you'll DoorDash him for a year.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay. Deal.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
Take. It's a hot take.
we got it on video. What was the preparation like? How was the preparation different from shooting a feature versus shooting a documentary?
Oh God, it's so different because with a feature, you know exactly where the story's going to go. So you can plan things out like, okay, in this one scene, I want them to be all dressed like this. I'm going to have the light coming in like this. I'm going to do a close-up. I'm going to do this shot, and it's going to cut together like this. But with a documentary, you know what they're trying to achieve. So with this one, they want to put on a great event. That's the basic blurb. But everything else, you don't know what's going to happen. So you just have to shoot everything that's even remotely interesting and hope that it's going to cut together into something compelling, which sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Like there's some days where you shoot and you think we can't use anything because it's really dull. You know, there are some days that you shoot and you just think, what, this is a complete waste of time. But then you have some days where it's like conflict after conflict after conflict, and you're like, this is great. This is wonderful. So it's a very different experience because you don't know what you're going to get, and you don't know the full story until you're done. So like I didn't know if the event was gonna go off well. I'm not gonna spoil it because but it took some surprising directions, and it was always interesting. It just keeps you on your toes a lot.
I mean, it must have been a sort of like a conflict of interest, because here you are, you're filming it, and you do see that conflict. And yet, I'm sure when you did, I'm sure that the feature film director inside of you was like, you know what? I don't want to shoot this. I want to fix this.
Yeah, I was like, could you say that again? But let me do a little rewrite first and kind of just make it a little punchier. Yeah, always.
I mean,
I was always sort of hoping for more like conflict, you know, but everybody really got along. So it wasn't really conflict between the people as much as conflict of people versus society or venues or weather occasionally. So
there's a lot of people. A lot of people push back on their group trying to get their day.
There were a few. We had some protesters. That was fun. Of course. And what was so sad though was it was like this big intersection, and you had this huge group of people who were kind of protesting against the protesters, and the protesters were like four drunk guys with these crappy signs like, y'all are going to burn in hell. I'm like, you look so pathetic. And then they started singing. And none of them could carry a tune. And I thought, that's a crime right there. That's shocking. Get them off the road.
We know who one of them must have been, Mr. Bones.
Man,
did they do any Beach Boys covers?
Thank God, no. I would hate to see them desecrate that beautiful music. I'd be so mad. Ooh, horrible people.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. So the event went off, and they thanked you for it. And how long did it take for you to edit it and to shape it? I mean, this is your first documentary. Editing must have been a hell of a chore.
It was very different because with a feature film, you know where it's supposed to go. But with this, it was like, okay, how can I cut this for maximum effect? And so we stopped shooting in October, and I think I finished it in February. So it took a little while, but I was also trying to fine-tune this movie at the same time. So it was like I would work one day on this, one day on the documentary, and just kind of go back and forth. So it was a very strange experience for all of those months to just be like, okay, what am I cutting together today? Oh, right, the sin stick scene on Monday, the documentary on Tuesday. That's right. Okay, it was so bizarre.
I'll be completely honest with you. When directors typically are in films that I've seen, they're not very good.
Yeah.
That is not the case.
Usually, yeah.
That is not the. Like I told you earlier, I thought you must have had at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 years of training.
Oh, thank you so much.
Maybe even longer. You were very deep. It was very deep. Like I could feel the movie. You know.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So now she's worked a year on this movie. I mean, how long do you plan on taking off before you got your next? You have your next idea in your mind of what you think you'd like to try to do, or you just want to work Children of Sin for a little bit? And you've done a lot more press lately for this movie. You've done a lot more press for this movie than you have before, haven't you?
Done a lot of press, yeah. And I'm thinking I'll take it easy for maybe one more month, and then I have a feeling the bug is gonna try to get me again, because I can't sit still for too long. I have 4 or 5 ideas, and I like them all, which is the problem. I really think they could all be great, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to do next, but one is more of like a kind of a psychodrama where it's a very contained family saga in this house with a bunch of crazy folks. And then there's one that's kind of a wild, wacky slasher movie that's more of like a teenage thing. And I don't know. I really don't know yet.
Not a problem for you, really, or for us. We're down with whatever you put out, but it's probably an issue for you. Yeah.
Well, I never know which one's going to be completed first, because I get ideas every day, and I'll just get like an idea for a scene or a location or a character, and then eventually they all kind of come together into one big picture. But I'm not sure which one will be outlined first and which one will kind of call my name first. That's usually how it works. I mean, I was working on something else when this one decided to basically say, hey, you should make me now. And I'm like, but I was working on this other one. It was so close. And it was like, no, you're going to do this one now. So,
I'll say this one last thing, and then that'll be one of my final things. Your films are things that I don't see in movies. I see so much of the same style, not style, but attempt at certain movies. Like there might be 100 movies about La Llorona, or there might be 100 movies about like a killer shark. Mm-hmm. Your stuff's different. I like that. Not saying I don't like that stuff, but I like stuff that's different that I've not seen, and that's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, are you afraid to get that typecast for your movie? I mean, it probably will be, but I mean, is it something that you will embrace for right now, or something you try to avoid? But if someone comes up there and considers this a gay horror film, I mean, what would you say to that description? Would you correct them and sit there and say it's not any specific cause or gender, it's for all of us? Or do you just embrace that and sit there and say thank you, because you're probably one of the first films that tackles a subject like this?
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, and it's just I'm just trying to reflect the world that I'm in at the moment, and so there's gonna be stuff like that in there. My friends, my family, there's a lot of them that are like that. So it's just that those are the people I tend to surround myself with, and I've seen so many that cover the other aspects of humanity, so I don't feel like I need to tread on that because it's been done. So I just kind of write whatever I personally want to see on screen, and if people like it, fantastic, that's great. And if they don't, well, it just wasn't made for them, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
How about you, Meredith? You're doing the detectives show right now. Have you done any? Have you moved on to doing any stage work?
I am currently in 3 detective shows right now, so that keeps me pretty busy with a little bit of time for modeling on the side. I've got a couple of shoots coming up.
See, that would be a good coffee cup. Sherlock Mohler.
Sherlock Mohler. I want that coffee cup now.
I do too.
We'll just get those made.
I'll be the first one to buy one. Well, it's sort of nice to be known as the crime buster instead of the femme fatale, or do you like playing the femme fatale more?
I mean, being the femme fatale is really fun. With the detective shows, you get to play so many different types of characters, especially if you're in more than one, obviously, but you get to have so many opportunities. You get to play anything.
Now, are those improv or are they scripted?
They're scripted, but there's a lot of added improv that isn't in the script. There's a lot of audience participation, so it all has to do with just how the audience is doing that night. How much are they going to give you? How much can you play with them? Can you not play with them at all?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Some
like
of them
that.
are like that. Yeah.
Sometimes they're playing too much.
Yeah. You're like, can y'all?
Right. Yeah. Has anybody ever made you break character?
They've tried. I've had people come to me like, "Girl, you're about to be shot." I'm like, "Really? You think so?" They're like, "Girl, you are about to be shot." And I'm like, "Who? By who? Your best friend? She's about to shoot you." I'm like, "What?"
That must be a lot of fun.
It's a blast. It is a blast.
So your health is doing a lot better, except for the eating part.
Yes.
So I noticed that during the key scene, like I said, I was really impressed at you, and I was really impressed that you did all your stunts. Because I was holding my breath a little bit because I'm thinking, okay, please don't get hurt, please don't get hurt, please, because you getting hurt is a lot different than us getting hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a challenge, but I got to take, a lot of breaks. Anytime I got winded, I could stop. That's the beauty of screen versus stage.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it really wasn't that bad. It was, I felt very safe the whole time. It was not very scary.
So you showed your range in 2 movies. You showed you could play any place. You had to go to 2 different extreme characters, but that's not so easy to do. It's easy to do sit in the middle, but it's hard when you're out there,
Oh yeah.
How would you grade your own performance in Children of Sin? Go ahead.
I'm my own worst critic. There's definitely some stuff that I would probably do different. I've only seen it twice, so I'm trying to think back. But I feel like I blink a lot. I feel like I shake my head a lot when I'm trying to have attitude. And it's just like there's some things that are just over the top to me that I'm just like, okay, Emma, you could be a little bit less sarcastic and a little more natural. But that's okay.
I didn't notice the shakiness. I didn't notice the shaking of the head.
I didn't either.
Thank you. It bothered me. I was just like, why are you shaking your head so much?
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I didn't sense sarcasm. I sensed more frustration, which is really the appropriate sensation.
Very frustrated. Poor girl's going through it.
Oh God. Yeah.
I was frustrated watching Jackson, to be honest with you. And that's a beautiful thing that you wrote, Christopher, because that's what we're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
But he's a very confused situation. The situation at hand, he's between a right and a wrong.
Exactly.
People take a lot of time with stuff like that. They weren't there very long.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that before I give away the damn movie.
Star Wars asking a question. He says, have you ever made something and thought, if I would not have made it now, it would never have been made? Would have been or would have been or never been made. Let's see, the same had I made it later. So I see what he's saying. So have you ever had an idea, like if you could make the movie now, or you could have waited till later on to make it? Do you think you would have had the same impact if you had waited for the later movie than shooting it now?
That's pretty much every film. And I'm sure 3 years down the road, I'm going to look at this and think I could have done it like this, and it would have been so much better. I think about that all the time. It's just a curse. I think it's just a curse when you make stuff. It's never going to be exactly as you thought it would. This is the first movie that has been pretty close to what I pictured in my head. So for me, it feels like a success because I'm like, I got pretty much everything just as I wanted it to. My last movie, Stranger Among the Living, there's a lot of stuff I would change. I think the script needed a few more passes before we shot it, but I got excited and thought, let's just go ahead and make the movie. And then some scenes just don't work. And even Triggered, blessed are the children. I have a lot of things I wish I could change. But it's in the past. But if someone said, if you could remake one, I would absolutely do it.
Which movie of yours would you remake?
Today I would remake Blessed. I think because I know why it didn't work now, and I didn't know until like last year, and I finally was like, oh, that's why it didn't work. I could have just done that. It would have been so much better. But you're young, you make mistakes. It was the first movie of mine that got any kind of distribution. So I was very green and I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm still making mistakes. In fact, there's a shot in this that a critic pointed out this week. And at first I thought they're crazy. That is not true. They were like, there's a shot where the axe disappears towards the end of the film. A character, I'm not going to name who, has an axe. And in one shot, They have the axe in their hands. The next shot, it cuts to someone else, and when it cuts back to them, the axe is not in their hands. And I read that, and I thought, you're wrong. How did no? I made sure that this person had that axe. And as we watched it last night, sure enough, they were right. There's a shot, and I was beating myself up and thinking, you idiot! Why did you do that? And I worked on this movie for a year, and I didn't even notice it until last night. So see, there are still things that drive me nuts. I think, why did I do that?
I think something come off the handle though, like when the hit was happening. Didn't something come off the handle?
And no, there was a scene involving a frying pan hitting a certain person, and when they fall, they have the axe in their hands, and then it cuts to a shot of the person who actually hit them, and when it cuts back, they no longer have the axe in their hands. Then it cuts back to the person who hit them again, and then they have the axe in their hands when it goes back. And I'm like, the same angle too, and I was like, how did I not see this? Crazy.
Oh God, that happens. Continuity happens all the time. I mean, I've seen
even on the biggest films, you know.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah,
but I like watching Scrubs just like it counted. There's at least you're like, oh yeah, there's continuity errors happens to everybody.
Absolutely,
everybody. Spielberg, anybody.
Exactly.
So I guess I will have to think about wrapping this up. So does anybody have any questions for our guests, Christopher and Meredith? Please drop them in.
I think Bones had a question.
Oh, let's see. Bones. Yeah. Bones has been on fire today. Children of Corn or Triggered. Which one does Meredith like more?
Oh.
Ooh.
Sophie's choice moment.
For real.
Gosh.
I mean, I gotta say, probably Children of Sin.
Yeah, I think that's important. I love Callie. Callie is awesome.
I love Callie.
I do
and I
too.
would play Callie again in a heartbeat and love every second of it. But there's just something about Children of Sin.
Yeah, because I think like I said, it's sort of like it's important. I mean, it's funny hearing someone say, "Well, it's a slasher movie." And it's like, no, it's not. It's not really. There's a lot of truth there. You know, there's a lot of yes, there are some horror. Like I said, there are some horror elements into it. But look at that front half of that movie, and you're going to be blown away by it. I loved it. I loved it so much for that. I thought it was daring. I thought it was contemporary. I thought it was relevant. It's going to be, you could watch this movie 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It's still going to be just as powerful as it is today, if not more so.
Yeah.
Will there be DVD copies and Blu-rays available?
I hope so. I'm trying to figure out how it all works because I'm self-distributing, and I'm trying to because I think that's important. I love having a physical copy because with streaming, it's like things are up for like a week and then they're gone and then they're back on again, and it's like you don't have it always. It's always like you're trying to catch it. You're like it was on Netflix, now it's off, but it's on Amazon. Whoops, it's off there. Now it's on Hulu, and you have to keep, and that drives me crazy. So I like the idea of a physical copy so that if someone really likes this movie, they can always have it. So I'm working on it.
You just made everybody in our chat super happy about that.
Oh, good.
because we are all with you. We are.
I
much rather have a physical copy than not.
Absolutely.
I just want to see that blooper reel.
Oh, I do too. I still need to put it together. There's so many bloopers.
Oh, Jennifer has a question. She says, "Where is love?" Never mind, I see it. Jennifer's been on fire tonight too. Jennifer, you've been awesome tonight. It's gonna be a fun midnight hour, that's for sure. Any other questions?
Yeah, how the hell do I get rid of this cowlick that I have? No, I'm just kidding.
Don't ask me.
It's sticking out all day. It's like a
whole life.
Okay, Star-Lord has a question for you. He says, would you want to make something about witches, or something like Hansel and Gretel? Would you like to tackle something like that?
Ooh, yeah. Well, that sounds fun. Why not?
I want to be a witch.
You could be a great witch. It'd be fantastic.
That would be awesome.
And then if you make a movie about witches, would you put the cheetah in it?
Oh, I don't know. He seems so sweet, though. I don't know if he'd be.
Oh, you believe me? He seems so sweet. The key word is seems. Let me tell you.
It's like Mary Esther.
He has a lot. Yeah, he has a lot of Mary Esther in him. Let me tell you. Oh yeah. How come there's no cheetahs out in more movies? We need more cheetahs in movies.
I agree.
Listen, I'm going to let you guys go. I want to thank you so much. It's been awesome having you again. I can't wait to have you guys come back. Whatever project you do, we're going to be right there waiting for the finish line. Me and Hobbs, both.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank the chat for coming out and supporting the show. Thank you guys so much. You guys were awesome again tonight. We will be back here Sunday night. Well, let me roll that back. At 10 o'clock over at Hobbs Horror's channel, the Midnight Hour will be kicking off at 10 o'clock. So everybody show up to Hobbs Horror for the Midnight Hour. Then come back Sunday at 7 p.m. or 9 p.m. for Jason Goes to Hell. That's right, Jason's going to hell, and we're helping him. We're greasing the rail. And that'll be here on Sunday at 9 o'clock. And then next Monday, we will be talking to actor Kyle Loranger or Chris Loranger from the movie Ditched. Now that's an insane movie. You guys need to check that out. Ditched, yeah.
Okay.
That's a firecracker.
Okay.
Yep. So he will be here on Monday, 8 o'clock, and we hope to see some of you, if not all of you, here. All right. Thank you guys again, and in about 20 minutes, we'll see you at Hobbs's place. Thanks.
Good seeing you guys again.
Good to see
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
Thank
right.
you. Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.